Hi everybody, welcome to a new project. This is my first Christmas project of the year, or not of the year, but of the season. We've already done a Christmas project, and that's what led to this project. These are a couple of ephemera folios that I made using scraps from my Prima Christmas in the Country that I had left over from when we made that album. And I also used some of the 8x8 pad that I had. If you don't have the 8x8, that's fine. The only thing is you will need 2 matching pieces of 8x8 paper, which you can cut down from a 12x12 if you have them. Otherwise, just use 8x8, but you'll see in the tutorial how to do it. But anyway, so let me show you what we have here. I made 2 of them. Actually, I made a bunch of them, but I'm going to show you these 2 because these are the 2 you'll see in the class. So what they are is you open them up and you have inside this is avocado dyed paper in pink, which you can YouTube how to make that if you want it. Otherwise, you can just use tea dyed, coffee dyed, or just plain paper so that you can write on. And then, here, let me get this out of the way. And this opens, and this opens, and as you can see, there's just pockets full of all kinds of ephemera that we're going to make. This tag, now this is a cut apart. Here's a little journaling card, and put that in there. And then in this one, we have just one of the cut aparts, another little journaling card. We have a cut apart. This is a little paper bag that we're going to make. It starts with a regular paper bag, but we're going to make it the right size. And then it has a little pocket tag inside, all full of ephemera. Let me slide that in there. This pocket is a little tight. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's that one, and then we just have a couple of things clipped here. And then back here we have 2 more pockets, and I want to tell you this project was inspired by Gayle Agostinelli, who did this project, designed it in 12x12, and I loved it, but I knew I had the 8x8 and I wanted to use it. So I went ahead and made one using the 8x8, and I loved it, and I asked her if it was all right if I taught it on my channel, and she said that it was, so thank you very much, and please do visit her channel. I'll link it down below. If you're not already following her, you'll love her. Okay, so another pocket with some ephemera, a pocket tag that has another little tag inside that we're going to make, and then we have another journaling card here. So we're going to, anything that's not just, a piece of ephemera we'll make. And then here in the back we have a couple of pieces of ephemera. We have another tag, and this one's just the craft on the back, and then a tiny little booklet. Just like that, and then just a bunch of ephemera. And let me show you the other one, and then I'll also explain to you some of the things that I used to make this, so you can collect what you have. And this is very much a junk journaling project. Use what you have. And you know what? I never decorated the back of that. Did I decorate the back of that one? I didn't. Okay. I should put something there. But anyway. Okay, so again, we have something clipped there, and we have our pockets. And we have our little tag and our cut apart and our little journaling card. And then we have this. We have the same things essentially in both of these. So here's our little matted cut apart. This is from the 8x8. You can see how tiny they are. This is one of the 3x4 cards that I had from the collection. And we made this tag, and then here's the paper bag, and that has another pocket tag inside it. Okay, there's that. And then this one is the same collection of little ephemeras here, and then we have back here just a couple of pieces of ephemera, a little pocket tag, and a journaling card that we'll make. That's backed with coffee dyed paper. And then the last pocket has another one of the little booklets, a couple of pieces of ephemera, and a tag. So let me go over with you what we used, or what I'm going to use. For the paper, again, I used 8x8 Prima Christmas in the Country, as well as a lot of scraps from the 12x12, some pieces from that 8x8. I had the 4x6 and 3x4 journaling cards, and I had the ephemera pack, and I used some of all of that. I used burgundy and craft and green. I think I used green. Yeah, some green cardstock. I used avocado dyed paper that I did myself and coffee dyed paper that I did myself. But again, that's optional. You can use whatever. And then I have a couple of charms. I had some charms. I used some of my favorite little gold ribbon. This one. Again, everything I used, you do not have to use. I'm just telling you what I used. You know, gather your own sort of scraps. And then I used some baker's twine to sew it together. And also some heavy-duty thread and a big needle. And then I used my Tim Holtz Christmas ephemera, which I got from Country Craft Creations, of course. I haven't checked to see if it's still in stock. And then I actually ended up buying another package. And it was different. I think it was from last year. So I had 2 packages of Christmas ephemera from Tim Holtz, and then I had 1 package of Christmas snippets, which is little tiny ephemera. I used those, and then I had a package of Tim Holtz paper dolls, the Christmas ones. So I used all of those. And let's see, I used some ribbon and some fabric. So let me see. I'm trying to think how wide this ribbon was. Not wide enough, I can tell you that. I think this was like 2-inch wired ribbon that I had to cut the wire out of. I can't remember. But you want something wide enough to wrap around this spine. You can always cut it down. And then the inside is a ticking stripe fabric. I got a fat quarter at Joann's, I think, or Hobby Lobby for that. And then this was a ribbon, which I like the way it looks, but you can see it's kind of a mess with the glue here. It was really hard to glue down because it was just too narrow. So I don't recommend that necessarily. And then I had this wire ribbon that I took the wire out of for the inner spine. So again, you can use whatever sort of ribbons or fabric you have, as long as I would say it's at least 2 inches wide. You really want 2 inches, 2.5. Okay, so you need that. And then I have, you can see here some scraps. This is music paper. I don't have any music paper. I went on Etsy and did a search, and I found a shop that sold music paper, so that's what that is. A little fly buzzing around. Again, it's not necessary, but you know, it's nice to have. And if you have some music paper, by all means use it. If you don't, another good option is dictionary pages. Now these I coffee dyed. I actually coffee burned them because I forgot they were in the oven drying. But something like this is a nice alternative, and you might have an old dictionary floating around the house, so that'll work. Let's see, as far as tools and other things, I used vintage photo and black soot, especially black soot ink, and a little bit of washi tape. Doesn't matter what kind, it's not going to be visible. Of course, my ruler, and I used this decal edge ruler to tear a lot of my paper. That was helpful. And because we're working with fabric, you want some Fabri-Tac, and of course your art glitter glue. You want those. And I did use this glue stick as well for some of the things, some of the more detailed ephemera. So that is that. Okay, so again, we're going to be making, you'll see me making both of these in the course because I kind of switched between them in the course of the video. So I hope you'll join me and make these ephemera folios, make a nice gift. They're also just really a nice way to build up a collection of ideas for ephemera to use in your mini albums going forward. So I hope you'll join me and make at least one of these fun ephemera folios. And thank you to Gayle Agostinelli for letting me teach this on my channel. I'll see you soon and we'll get started. Bye-bye.